Well, hi there, my name's Mark Traversoni, welcome to Saturn Magic. This is actually our first review, and what I want to get, tiny plunger, is here today, ready to ship. And, well, I'm telling a bit of a lie, the tiny plunger hasn't just turned up. In fact, two tiny plungers have turned up. That's what you get in each set. And there's a use for both of them. And what I really love about this is that you can mix and match the routines. The demo shows you the John Armstrong routine, which is absolutely fantastic. And I must admit, when I first watched it, I thought, gosh, that John Armstrong is a bit of a card guy. This is going to be really hard to do. But guess what? It's not. It really is quite easy to do. And the amazing thing is that you can just take the plunger, plunge it down, picks up the cards, and you predict how many cards has actually been cut to. And the way to actually predict that and manipulate what the person says, fully explained on the DVD, and to actually get into the situation where it works to the counting card situation that John does, it actually isn't that hard. It's more about probably remembering the different phases of the routine is the hardest thing to get into here. Now Matthew does another routine which is very nice, and he uses the plunger in a completely different way. You saw me pick up the cards just a moment ago, and he does it in a pick up the card and then gets the spectators to pick up the plunger and they try, and when they pick up the plunger and try, it doesn't work. It's like really weird, but when Matthew does it, it works. It's sort of a bit confusing. So they try, it doesn't work. Matthew tries, it does work. Which, you know, is going to get people a little bit crazy because it's not working, and suddenly, you know, when you do it, it does. Now, you can actually use this with any deck, as long as the deck's in reasonable shape. You could even use a borrowed deck. If you use a borrowed deck and it's very dog-eared, then you can have problems with it. If there's just a few cards in there that aren't particularly what they should be, then yes, there's a way of getting around it, which is quite simple, and you can use a borrowed deck. But you know, most of us are going to be using actually our own deck, and you get two plungers, as I mentioned. You get one normal plunger and one gimmicked plunger. Personally, I think I'm probably going to use the gimmick one all the time because you can chop and change between the presentations if you wanted to, sort of jazz with it a little bit depending on what the spectator's saying to you at the time, because there's no need to use either the gimmicked or the ungimmicked at any given time, so you think might as well use the gimmick one. No one's going to spot the gimmicking or figure out how it works. So I think I'll probably end up using the gimmick one. As far as the another thing to mention actually is the performing surface. I'm using like a card table base here. You could use a close-up mat. You don't actually have to use these surfaces. It'll look absolutely fine on a tablecloth. Any sort of roughish surface. The only surfaces that you may have a little bit of trouble with is a very smooth, flat, highly polished surface. If it's a table that's got some ridges in and you know, a few undulations uneven, then it should work fine. But if you've got an exceptionally smooth surface, you may get a little bit of trouble. It depends on the surface. But that is about the only performing restriction with this. As long as you've got something to work on, tablecloths, felt, close-up mat or something, then you're good to go. The routines, you get John's routine, you get Matthew's routine using a pen, you get Matthew's routine using the plunger, ideas from Garrett Thomas, and all of them together in like a session towards the end of the DVD. Actually, just to mention the DVD, that I heard only a few days ago that there was actually two plungers coming in the set, and I knew that one of them wasn't quite normal. So of course, when I got the package, opened it up, and I thought, well, how does this thing work? And it wasn't apparent to me, looking for something to be wrong, exactly what was wrong. So I went to the DVD, and you know, don't blame me, I'm sure all of us do the same thing. You go to the explanation first and thought, right, let's find out what's special about this plunger. But strange, there wasn't a section which I was expecting at the beginning to say, well, this is what you get and this is how it works. To find out about the gimmick plunger, you need to jump to Matthew's section, and well, it all becomes clear. So of course I was sitting there waiting and waiting, and eventually we got there, and then I went back and watched the rest of it properly. So two plungers, works really well, do as I do. Excellent routine. It's been a little while in coming out, but you can freestyle this up. You haven't got to do it exactly the way John says. I'm sure people will come up with their own ideas, we've got it in stock today, just arrived. I think you'll like it. So that's all from me. Bye from Mark Traversoni, and I'll tune in to our next review at Saturn Magic.